Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am gonna do my eyebrow routine. This has been requested by like 2 people, but I wanted to do it anyway because I normally do skip my eyebrows in my makeup routine. Half of this eyebrow is done right now, and then I decided I would do this. So if you want to know how I do my eyebrows during my makeup routine, then just keep watching. Another day go by, don't know what got me now. Alright, so we're zoomed in because this is all about eyebrows. I look crazy right now because this half is done basically. So normally I use like Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder, but lately because I've been like really lazy, I've just been using the Zodiac palette by Kathleen. Looks like this. I don't know if Colourpop still has this on their website, but I've been using the Virgo color. Let's see if this focuses. It's this brown one right here, and it does the job. So starting, I just take some kind of spoolie and I just like brush my eyebrows up. Since this is already started, we're gonna start on this eyebrow. So let's do that. I use like the same angled brush all the time. This is a Zoeva 317 wing liner brush, but I like it because it is super small. It lets me do like that fine detail work, but I like the angle because it gives a really natural like brow hair looking thing. I don't know, I think it looks good, and it's better than using like a flat brush or something that's super stiff. Like I would never use a brush like this personally, just because this doesn't really work for me. I want something that kind of moves still, so that's why I use this Zoeva brush. So let's start doing this. I just kind of try and fill underneath mostly. I don't really fill in the top part much. I do have naturally, I would say, pretty full brows. They're not like super thick, but I kind of just fill in where I see needs to be a little bit darker because I am naturally blonde. My eyebrows are pretty light, so I definitely have to work on them being a little bit darker, and especially in this front area. So to get the front to look a little bit more natural and faded, I just take the brush upright and I feather in the front. That way I don't get block brows. I know that was a trend like 5-6 years ago, but that's not what we're going for. So I want basically the strongest pigment in my brow to be the tail. So that's where we're gonna focus most of the product, is having a pretty strong tail in the brow. That's just naturally where everyone has the darkest part and more pigment. But then as it goes towards the front, you want it to fade and not look like a square, or that it's squared off. I think that's why I like to do my brows last, or normally right before mascara, but for this video I decided to just do it last. So as you can see, this tail part is starting to become darker, but I've kind of left this front part alone because I did those little hairs at first. So we're gonna leave that be for right now, and then once I go into my brow pencil, we'll go in the front again. But for the most part, you want to hardly touch the front, because what I do in the end is once I do my pencil, I take the brush and I kind of feather the product up. That way everything seems cohesive, but it doesn't look like a block brow, because that's not what we're going for. And normally I have to go back and forth between my brows just because they're both pretty different. This, I don't know if you can tell, but this brow goes up a little bit further and I'm missing hair right under here, so I do have to fill that in. And this brow is pretty full, where I just kind of darkened it up a little bit, but the front hairs are more sparse than this one. So normally I don't just do one brow, finish it, and then go to the next one. I kind of go back and forth. That way I know they're even and I don't look crazy. Okay, so for the most part, this is just the eyebrow powder or the eyeshadow, whatever you use for your brows. That's basically done. So now we're gonna move on to a brow pencil. You can use whatever one you want. I go through brow pencils pretty regularly and I'm usually always stocked up with them. So today I'm gonna use the L'Oreal brow definer or the brow stylist definer. And I am basically going to just clean up the shadow underneath and then fill in some hairs in the front. That's really all that I use my brow pencil for. I don't like to use a brow pencil alone because that's, I feel, how you get into the blocky eyebrow when you only use a pencil. Unless you're lightly filling them in, it's fine, but I do fill my eyebrows in quite a lot. They're light and they're sparse, so I just like to clean up my shape with a brow pencil. I don't like to use concealer. I feel like it looks too harsh when I do that. Some people look amazing when they like clean their brows up with concealer and everything, but I feel like I look like a clown, so we're not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna take my brow pencil and we're gonna fill the underneath up and clean any kind of like area where, if you can see right in here, needs to be cleaned up. I'm just gonna do it and watch, and hopefully what I said just made sense. I'm not pressing very hard with this brow pencil in the front because I'm seeing where my eyebrow hairs are going, and if there is a gap, I just kind of lightly fill it in. That's how you get the most natural looking hairs, and then I feel like doing that kind of lifts your whole eye up. So just looking straight on right now, I haven't brushed these hairs up yet. This eye already looks a little bit more lifted than this one, in my opinion. So we're just gonna do the same thing on the other side, clean up the bottom and fill in any other gaps that we have. This is why I do my brows before mascara, because my eyelashes get in the way. I'm experiencing that right now. And really utilize your spoolie on your eyebrow pencil, or if you have any kind of clean spoolie, because that is going to kind of blend away some kind of product buildup. If you feel like you went too heavy on the front, this is your best friend. So I don't really need to fill in too much in this front part, because once we put our brow gel on, this is all going to be defined a little bit more, but I hardly have like any hair in this front part of that brow, so I don't have to fill it in too much over here. But that is basically the brow pencil done. And now we're going to move on to setting the brows and making them appear a little bit more fluffy. That's normally the brow that I go for, is like you tried but you didn't try too hard kind of brow. I like the fluffier kind of brow. I only like it to be more cleaned up on the bottom part. That way it gives my eye kind of a lift. I feel like if I didn't clean up this part, my eyes would sag down a little bit and wouldn't look as open, and I have smaller eyes anyway, so I don't want to do that to myself. So the last step in my brows is definitely, I feel, a very crucial part. It's setting the brows with Glossier Boy Brow. This is my favorite product in the world. Sometimes I even use this by myself if I don't feel like doing this whole crazy thing. Sorry for the barking in the back. My dog is crazy. So this is amazing. If you buy anything that I'm recommending in this video, please get this. This is amazing. I buy like 3 at a time because I have a fear of running out, and I feel this makes my brows what they are. I get the Glossier Boy Brow in the color brown. I want to say they just do blonde, brown, black, and a clear one, but I like to get the tinted one because there's actually fibers in here that hook on to your brow hairs and make them look fluffier. So it has a really small spoolie kind of thing on the end with the product coated on it. Sorry, I'm a little shaky right now. I had too much caffeine, but that's what it looks like. And I feel like this is so amazing because it's so small that you can get into that like detail work if you want to. So I'm gonna put this on and I'm gonna show you kind of like the before and after. So I'll do one brow and then I'll show you the difference between it. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit just so we can really see the difference. It's a little close. Okay, so this is the brow that I just put the Glossier Boy Brow on, and then this is the before brow. So this definitely volumizes a lot. So if you're into kind of like the fluffy model-esque brow that you see on Instagram a lot, definitely get this product. If you feel like you have like no brow hairs but you have some sparse ones, definitely get this too because it is going to cling onto the brow hairs that you have and just fill them out a little bit more. So these are my brows done. I don't go for like the picture perfect brows like I said before. I like the fluffier but filled in brows. So if they're not exactly perfect, I really don't care. As long as they're pretty similar, it doesn't matter. I don't get my brows waxed. Basically I had a really bad experience when I was younger and got my whole brow waxed off. And like I said, I like the messy kind of almost like borderline unibrow look. As far as cleanup, to keep my brow shape how I want, I just use these like eyebrow razors from Target, if it focuses. So I do that for the center because that's normally all that I'm really worried about, is making sure I don't fully have a unibrow. So you just kind of shave down the center. That way if there's any sparse brow hairs, they'll just completely come off. And then sometimes I'll do it like on the tail part. I'll just like hold it and get some of the tail off if it gets way too messy. And then I just take any kind of normal tweezers that you have and then pluck any random hairs that I don't want there. So I don't really do too much for cleaning up, like I don't go crazy, and sometimes I do have to stop myself from tweezing too much, just like random hairs here and there, but for the most part, nothing too crazy. I hope you are all doing well and are staying safe during this really difficult and tough time. I know it's hard for everyone right now, but yeah, I hope you're doing well and staying safe. So that is it for my eyebrow routine, tutorial, whatever. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, comment if you want. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.